So you guys gonna
Yeah,
Deep
we have
Rock
about
or-
30 minutes for more Deep Rock Galactic.
Okay. Hang
Okay. Yeah. Let's go dwarf mining.
Rocket
Makes it sound like you're mining 4 dwarves.
Dwarf and bone, stone, bone.
Well,
Yeah,
I will
and-
say, FA and E6 do not seem to have caught on to this game yet, so
They will.
Yeah. There's nothing.
They will eventually. That it just has not had very much exposure yet.
Oh, they'll get some exposure, all right.
Yeah. What's his name? Heckwood or whatever. Herod. Heckwood. He's
yeah,
definitely
kind of weird name. I keep wanting to say Harold.
You know, it
Barrel
might be
pot.
Harold.
It's like
Yeah, I-
mistranslated, you think?
Yeah.
I've wondered about some of these names. Yeah. Grey Wolf Hot Stud.
Great Wolf Hot Stud.
Wolf.
Thud, Beef Rock.
Wolf. Wolf.
Blast Hard Cheese.
Okay, let me check out what I got here.
I find this genre fascinating. I don't know, what do you call it? It's not really the subgenre, I guess. These kinds of adventure games where it's sort of pixel art and there's a lot of horizontal, like side scroll, whatever. There's probably
They're adventure games, I guess.
Are they just
adventure narrative games?
I feel like they're drawing on games that like I was vaguely aware of but never played.
Oh, you mean
Myself.
like the old LucasArts stuff?
Yeah, I knew about those, but like I kind of missed the boat on those a little bit.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's too bad.
Just gotta wait on that.
When's that new Monkey Island coming out? It's like
Oh, yeah, that's right. When is it? Oh my gosh.
Return to Monkey. That's 2022. Okay, well,
It's getting all the big dates.
yeah. Well, they're hedging their bets.
I mean,
you know.
because it's the thing, it's just like either you give a vague date until like less than a month out from it, or you give a date and then you have to push it back 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what people are realizing. They're just like delays sometimes have to happen,
Whoosh.
and the best thing to do it is just not give the date up front anyway.
It's a little easier with independent publishing because you don't have like a billion things that need to align.
Right? Isn't there like a long verification process for the platform or something?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're trying to multi-release, but yeah, there's a million things that need to align.
Man.
I think, especially in indie development, you often don't have, of all the hats that need to be worn to have a game come to completion, not all of them are going to be worn by people who work for the company that make the game. A lot of this stuff is going to have to be outsourced or contracted, or hell, you pick it up on like Fiverr or something. You're just like, hey, we need networking in this game. None of us know how to do networking, and we're not going to... we just need it for this one feature. Cool, let's hire a guy to work on it for 2 weeks.
Miller is 99 on his season this time.
I am level 99. I get one more level. I will collect 3 more script, and those are the exact last 3 script I need.
Okay, well, let's do my missions then. Let's go.
Is there a point where like all the thingies are unlocked and you've done all achievements, or is it like is it just
Yes, it can be. There are a limited amount of cosmetics, but it would take an exorbitant amount of time to get everything.
Drop sequence initiated.
you know, it reminds me when I was playing Walkthrough. There were things you could get like decorative armor sets and stuff that you would basically have to like do the same thing, the same grind every day for like 10 years. And there were still people who had them.
Yeah, no, that's like MMO levels of grinding, and it's just like, nope, no thank you.
Well, Walkthrough was an MMO, wasn't it?
It is, yeah. One of my favorites. I'd still be playing if I had to go.
Only danger and darkness away.
Well, that.
You know what's an MMO that I miss?
What's that?
WildStar.
WildStar. I've never heard that one.
Check your gear and let's go.
It was a sci-fi themed,
A previous crew lost fuels that dropped
kind
off
of
the line.
rock and roll sort of aesthetic.
Get the drop
I like
pod
the
MMO.
and return to base.
Are those furry
Expect heavy
characters?
infestation and try not to mess it
Aren't
up
they
like your
always?
former colleagues.
It just says I remember Wildstar.
like
So, HQ Luderman, Greg's wife, she draws Wildstar characters all the time
Oh, yeah?
because they have this one like furry bunny species that she's
Yeah.
super in love with.
Oh yeah, I remember All Star. I only played it for a little bit though, but thinking enough time get right hardcore because love World of Warcraft.
You know, there's two things that. Okay, no, there's three things that make or break it with an MMO for me. The graphics, the learning curve with the gameplay,
Work.
and pretty much the number one is whether or not I have friends to play it with. Because even if it's really good, if it's the kind of thing that you need to do as a team, then I have to find friends who are willing to like.
I mean, that's what I loved about Ultima Online when I first started playing it way back then. I mean, community building in a game that was like a medieval fantasy back then, and it was just. I liked making my own inn, honestly, my own bar, just cooking stuff for the customers, role playing.
That's
It just.
a lot of fun.
It was just sad though the game went down because everybody wanted to kill the king. Everybody wanted to destroy Britannia.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's always, you know,
Yeah.
so people tend to be like super goal oriented.
I had a chessboard in my house. A chessboard. But yeah, I liked that game had some really, really in-depth stuff in it and, for role-playing purposes. Like I said, I couldn't believe it. I loved it. That was back when I was like great hardcore for role-playing.
Right, I think I Deep Rock. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Little.
Ethan! What's the fire for? Chill factor. Taste the pickaxe!
I'll put some trampolines for yous.
Trambambolines!
Oh no, you don't.
Trampoline.
That trampoline is mine.
That pushed me off.
Ow. I'm sorry. I forgot this game had push physics.
I only thought it had down physics.
Precious minerals, it will get you killed. We're rich.
Eric said they found the rich stuff. Oh,
We're rich. We're rich.
we're rich.
We're rich. We're rich. We're rich. We're rich. Platforms placed. Where is
The cave leaf should glow a bright red when it starts to go towards you.
Here. I just noticed a deep hole here.
If only they would be reasonable and stop existing.
Okay.
Something I've said many times.
really much better now?
I'm sure it's a thought that's run through many, like, retail workers' heads.
Rock and roll.
Fuel powering up. Good work.
There's nitro here.
Nitro? Oh, okay.
heading back. Follow them and let's get that drop pod fixed. Remember, you can always deposit on the side of the drop pod.
Oh, you little.
Where is everybody? There.
All mules secured. Now to get the pod working. First, establishing a proper connection between the pod and the space rig. Set up the uplink.
Hello, Dimblade, who says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I know that style." Welcome to DRG.
Welcome to
You're a little
DRG.
late to the party, buddy.
Welcome
It's a little
to
late for
DRG.
welcomes.
Guys, remember you can deposit on the sides of the drop pod.
That's a new line.
Oh, is it? I've heard it many times.
Where you deposit the side of the drop pod.
Yep.
Oh, I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a good line.
Oh, I would say so.
It's not that obvious. You're just like, I can't call Molly. Where am I supposed to do?
Fact. Okay.
Ash says the only MMO they really enjoyed was Guild Wars 2. I definitely had a time there where I went through a bunch of different ones.
I've never
Remember-
touched an MMO because I was always worried that with my personality I would become hopelessly addicted.
Here you there.
So
Know me.
the first one I tried was World of Warcraft, but I played that to like level 25 or something, like maybe 15 hours, and then I was just like, I'm fucking bored. I don't want to play this anymore.
That's reasonable.
I mean, that was basically my experience. I played it for about a month and a half. And then I realized after like the third day of not having any quests that I could actually finish and just slowly grinding on things, that was like, I'm not really having any fun anymore. with
Secondary
this.
objective completed. Now finish
Yeah.
the job.
For me,
Played
it was.
that. I remember playing WildStar, like I said. I played WildStar for like 6 or 8 months. Quite a while until that game started to die out, which is upsetting. I really did like it. And then I played Rift for a few months, like over a summer. That one was pretty cool. I like that one because it let me sort of... It gave you a lot of class customization stuff, so the class I ended up building was like a critical damage based wizard. Where it was like, oh, I'd cast a fireball spell, but it'd have like a 70% critical strike chance, and if I did a crit strike, then this thing got cast for free, and then it would reset my cooldowns, and then I would cast another fireball, and like, it had all these like triggers and effects and stuff I thought was really cool.
I admit, I wouldn't probably play World of Warcraft as much as I did if it didn't have the PvP in it. Because once I started playing Warsong Gulch and Alterac Valley, that's when I got hooked. And
Yeah.
back then, I didn't get to play with nobody in my family or anybody I knew at that time played, so I had to find my own buddies to play
See,
with.
what are you doing with the Gunksy?
Triangulation
I'm trying to find the...
Do not leave the
We already have all of
or
them.
we will lose the connection.
Oh,
We
I
only
didn't even
have
notice.
one shot at this.
I was so busy talking, I never noticed.
Hang in there. Supplies are
That
on
would
the way.
Oh, hello, Jonas.
Here,
We're doing good. How are you?
well, I was googling Backbone.
Triangulation at
Apparently, they're doing another game set in the same universe, and according to this is a direct quote. The only thing Eggnet has revealed is that we can't tell you whether it's a sequel or prequel or a racing game just yet, but please know that it's more gay.
Oh, okay. Well, that's important information.
Bloody hell, you're hot to kill.
Mo was awesome to me growing up.
That makes me worried. See, that makes me worried because I feel like they're the kind of people who believe gay is a personality. And it's just like, if we say this, then the millennials will buy it.
I don't know.
They like that stuff, right?
I mean, yes, the millennials do like that stuff, but
Those damn millennial kids.
they killed the diamond.
It's funny how you
they
say
killed
that,
the
and most
diamond
millennials are
chugging-
like in their 30s or even starting to edge in their 40s now.
I was about to say, damn those millennial kids and their killing of the diamond chugging industry or whatever.
The diamond chain. True, people don't chug diamonds anymore.
How dare they not approve of my absolutely rapscatious lifestyle?
Rapscatious?
I have no idea if I just made up a word or not.
You know,
I think you did, but I'm okay with it.
I'm gonna actively use that in random dialogue. Rapscatiously.
I'm taking some of the air.
Ah, Jonas, you little rapscallion.
One thing that annoyed me about MMOs as I was growing up, I always thought MMOs were like the end-all, be-all thing back then.
Yeah, I mean, it's MMOs can be great if you want like like an extended, complex experience that isn't necessarily like a spin video game. Like
It's pretty much, you gotta have friends to play MMOs. You gotta.
Yeah.
You can't be soloing an MMO. It's fun for a little while, but you really want to play it with buddies.
Well, when
Well, in part that's because an MMO really isn't built to be soloed.
Well, when I was
Most
playing,
of the content isn't compelling enough, and that's kind of by design.
I soloed WoW.
Like part of my problem with World of Warcraft is it just the gameplay just moves so slow.
I'd say the opposite, but I mean, it depends on, like, the combat is actually pretty fast. It's the pace of the game, and when you first played World of Warcraft, the classic, it was super slow back then, but it was, like you said, you want to, was getting the gear back then in the classic.
Oh, I guess that's true.
I
about
know,
what
I
time
know
you
that.
played.
Yeah, I know that they probably eventually just sped things up, like in general.
Oh.
Because
Like, if you play it now, you can get to, like, level 60 in like a week if you know exactly what you're doing.
Well, no, I think he means more the second-to-second gameplay, like
yeah, that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
because World of Warcraft is always based around its sort of like skill rotations, right? That just meant you were standing in one place and pressing buttons in that same order, every time on every encounter.
Well, there was also mana management, stats in your gear, hoping you were getting lucky, but that was in the old days, though. Now, everybody's like that. It's more...
That's in the early game, there was just a lot of sitting and waiting. Like, I mained a druid for a long while, and like it was an early World of Warcraft. I think it was the 1.14 patch or something. And at that time, the druids did have a resurrect spell, but it would only fire once every 30 minutes.
Correct.
And that's very annoying if you do not have a shaman in your group who have the actual resurrect spell, but nobody really wanted to play shaman or priest.
Yeah. The Horde people at the Horde back then pretty much said if you want to be a healer, you had to be a priest. That's because the Alliance had the Paladins, who were just basically a tankier version of the priest.
The priest is absolutely critical to every single group dynamic, but they really aren't that fun to play. And I was playing a druid because, I didn't want to be a priest, but I ended up doing priest duties anyway because there was never a priest in the group.
Exactly. Druids back then, they could only heal. Even if you wanted to be a tank or a DPS, you had to be a druid healer, even if you didn't like it. That's what the problem with Classic back then was. You pretty much were designated to be as they call it back then, like tree druids as they called them, because that was what they became at the end. They became trees. And
Yeah. Of course, chat brings it up, and how could I forget the MMO, nay, the video game I've spent the most time in my life was Warframe. I have like 6,000 hours in that game.
People are trying to get me to Warframe. I played it for a bit. I feel like though at the time though it would have been something I would get into with if I was into the game closest that I was playing back then. I don't know if I've ever played it, but it was Guns. You ever played Guns?
No, I exclusively played Roses.
Oh, ouch. How did I not see that coming? Ouch. But yeah, Warframe sort of reminded me of like a PvE version of Guns. Because you can run across walls, shoot everything, slice and dice, that kind of thing.
Warframe had, first and foremost, its movement. That was like bigger than everything else right at the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that was sort of what had them be big and interesting from the start.
Okay. We have time for one more, sure.
And then only in like the last year or two have they really started to push for their story stuff to be more involved.
Round of rodents, please.
A round of rodents, please.
Did you say a round of rodents?
That's
It's a drink called Tunnel Rat, so a round of them is called a round of rodents.
I thought you said a round of Ronins.
Yes, this is
Oh, samurai! One more drink.
Samurai dwarfs. Oh no.
God, now I'm just thinking of that one. What was it? Was it an Irish beer commercial that was like Samurai Cyberpunk?
Oh my god.
I remember that.
That sounds very Irish, alright.
Exactly. It's like, oh, I don't know what Akira Toriyama movie is this, and it's just like for Heineken or something, and you're like, what?
I'll go buy all those so I can put the plus 10 health on that.
I really want to see an Akira Toriyama Heineken commercial.
Actually, I'm going to switch real quick because I just realized I got a rocket launcher here. I really want to try.
Man, if I had a nickel for every time I've said that.
So I picked up this overclock. I really want to try. Basically, the guided rocket launcher system. Now I can shoot all the missiles at once, but I can't guide them. It sounds pretty devastating for a boss.
Hurry up! I ain't getting younger, you know.
So yeah, I really want to try this out. Okay, when everybody's ready.
It's an interesting skin.
I ain't got all day. Let's leave.
Scratched metal. Makes it look like it's made out of like bone and rusted parts, which is actually kind of cool looking.
Right
I
here.
want to mess around in Hero Forge more. I haven't done that in forever.
There we go.
In Forge ever.
Drop sequence initiating. Fasten your seatbelts.
I tried to make, I tried to make Penny in Hero Forge, but it didn't look very good.
It's okay,
this one's
Jonah.
low
I'll forgive you.
oxygen. Please keep that in mind.
Yes. One of the MMOs I grew up at the time that I really actually miss is Warhammer, the one where you played the Order and Chaos. They had an interesting concept back then. It didn't. They were killing the leader of the other side's faction. That was all it was, but it was pretty damn fun.
You know, I remember like when Warhammer was really big in the 2000s, and there was this great comic book slash like RPG slash etc kind of store in San Francisco called Things from Another World, and they had like a whole there was this whole section. Like it was like they had the Warhammer like figure, the big bulky stand up. It was crazy. And there were like, you know, the folks would play on like tables and stuff. It was amazing, all of them figures. I wish I got in on it.
Oh, that's wow, that's good.
Because then I would have been cool.
Oh man, I don't know if anybody who invested in Warhammer could be called cool nowadays. I think even then it was like those were the nerds that the nerds called nerds.
Die already.
Those were the nerds.
Look over here! Friendlies! Friendlies!
Look over here.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do this.
Don't tell me my ladder is slightly too large.
Yeah, actually, that's probably only that game I would probably only play with friends. I don't.
Closer to our
It's difficult for me to like, just like play with randos. I mean, in a game like that where there's like coordination and stuff. If it's just like a casual game, I could probably play it with whoever. But yeah.
Hey, let's see here. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Oh,
Finally.
Miller, did I link the Coffee Stain YouTube video with all the different dev tools they use to make Satisfactory?
Yep, I watched it before you linked it to me. I'm subscribed to their YouTube as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do you see the video they put out today?
I did not. What did they put out there?
that guy.
They were talking about all the stuff they want to add into Update 6. And specifically, they did it because they want some feedback from people about one of the changes, which was for overclocking.
I will give it a
Because
look.
they said that right now overclocking works in a non-linear fashion, right? So if you double your overclocking speed to 200%, you consume like 4 times as much energy.
Right.
But it also works backwards. So if you clock down to half speed, you actually only use 1/3 of as much energy. So they're like, this creates the weird problem where the most efficient thing is to make hundreds and hundreds of machines that are all clocked to 1%.
Really?
With how that works, yes, that is the most efficient way to make a factory, is to make as many machines as you can that are all clocked to 1%. Because then you consume, you're running 1/100th the speed, but you consume like 1/10,000th the power.
That's really weird.
Yeah, and so they're just like, we're probably going to change it to be a linear fashion, but we wanted to, ask people about that first.
That's gonna horribly break someone's factory.
There's going to be a bunch of stuff that are going to break anyway. They also said that the boss monster that they showed off, or they said they're going to update a bunch of the monsters. They're going to probably add new ones as well.
Yeah.
The boss they showed in the trailer from like 2018 is still not going to be ready.
The super crab, yeah.
Yeah. And they said they're going to update the northern forest area. It's going to be a different thing now. It's not going to be a forest. I think they said it's going to be like a coral thing.
Did we never tapped that area, did we? I don't think we did.
Not really.
What I'm wondering is if they're going to keep all the oil spires. But, whatever.
Yeah, I suspect if we do start a new playthrough at some point, then we might start in the forest, which has a lot easier access to that northern area. Or start in the desert, which has easier access to that northern area.
Yeah.
That get me.
Alright.
On the other side of cover.
He arcs his shots.
One thing I'll do early on, whenever we get back to that, is like figure out a systemic, like a network of pre-existing pylons, not pylons. The towers, the stacking jiggies for the railroads and whatnot. So that when we need that infrastructure, it'll already be ready to go-ish. I'll just take this with me.
I appreciate the term "ready to go"-ish.
Sorry, I have to AFK for 1 second.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can do this. Let's see. No.
Now, something's ready to go-ish when it's finished-ish.
Yes, thank you.
Let's see if there are any more.
Okay. Had to go turn off my timer. The chicken noodle soup is ready. Need to go. Cut it. Can you go shred the chicken, add some parsley, and add the noodles?
Oh,
And like for like another 30 minutes, and then it'll be done.
It'll be done and you'll have to do.
Give me some sugar.
probably gonna have taco leftovers for breakfast.
Well, you know what I'm gonna have tomorrow.
What's that?
I'm gonna have leftover pot roast from the roast that I cooked tonight.
Oh yeah, Stoker's finally leveling up in cooking.
He's leveled up his cooking? Ah.
Yeah, you should post some pictures, Stokes, because actually it looks pretty good.
It does look pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
You're like, our little bed is
Says, what are you doing cooking this late in the day, Miller? Look, it's a slow cooker, and I woke up at like 1 p.m. today, okay?
Yeah, Miller's like a night owl. You know,
I wonder what that feels like.
Yeah.
I feel like a bird is what it feels like.
I'm like a bird in the way. Don't know where my home is. Okay, anyway. That was a moment.
That sure was a song that you just sang there, Dennis.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't judge me.
Thank you, Jonas. I can't wait to hear your self-titled EP.
You should see me slightly intoxicated doing karaoke. It's an
I do
experience.
not see any more of these
Now I
cards.
absolutely know what we have to go do whenever you visit. Whether it's for next TFF or whatever.
The sad thing is, it doesn't take much to get me to get me tipsy, because I have that whole like Asian drinking thing, where like I can't entirely properly metabolize it, so a little will get me pink. I'm serious.
Yeah, he literally turns pink. It's very strange. He looks like a rose.
I only had one drink in my life.
Really?
Alcohol-wise, I mean.
Huh.
As far as I know, I can tolerate it, but I don't want to find out.
That's
I've
fair.
only I drink probably once a month, usually when I'm out to dinner with somebody, but I think there might have been only one time where I actually got buzzed. That's because I had like 2 glasses of champagne at a New Year's party.
I virtually
And I was
never
like-
drink, but I like stout, and I like Bloody Marys. I cook with booze.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Another fossil, at least. There's a bunch of nitra up here, but no quarks.
By the way, Drifter, you know there is a Steam group, right? Like an unofficial one for. Here, hold on. I'll dig up the link.
Oh, there's fossils too.
Where is?
Yeah, grab more fossils. We only have half.
Exemplary work.
I can't find shnikes.
Shnikes. Holy shnikes.
We'll send in the escape can.
Holy shnikes, Batman!
Where the hell is this Steam link?
Don't ask me. I just work here.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah, I don't know if the Steam group really does much anymore.
I know. I mean, it's,
The most I ever see people is usually in either the Haven Celestia or the Rick Griffin Patreon Discords.
yeah, that's probably where
Ah,
I go.
yes. Both of which I am very much a worker in.
Is there a video game
I
channel?
see people tag you on occasion, and they're just like, "Hey, I found this one picture of a new Sally Acorn at Stoker Bramwell." Or at
I
Stoker.
mean, that's the kind of thing that you need to tag me for. So
Do you think I could suggest to Greg? Well, who runs the Haven's Lessons? Is it Greg or?
Greg is technically in charge of it.
Yeah, Greg runs the Haven Celestia one.
I might suggest to Greg to make a video games channel. Oh, there is a. Never mind. There is a games channel.
suggest it anyway. Surprise everyone by making a channel that already exists. They'll never see that coming.
Part of my 2022 strategy.
Yeah, the one thing I've been doing in the Haven Celestia and the Rick Griffin Discords is that when there's a con going on that people are attending, I will make a thread for it.
No.
Because that's a thing that Discord did a while ago.
Well, ain't that nice of you?
And it like just disappears a couple days after the end, and that's fine.
Oh, shoot.
Let's
Still
see.
looking. Fossil.
Oh, there's one. There's one here, but it's like on the ceiling.
In fact, but I'm going to put up a supply depot up here in a moment.
Here, I found.
Feder came over,
Damn flares could need an upgrade.
noted the thing I noted, and then just left. And I'm just like, Feder, you're the one who needs to grab it. Go.
And he fouls.
I need light up there first. He needs to put a flare, and then I can put platforms, and then he can grapple up there.
Let me try this then. I'll throw my big, strong flares.
Okay.
Okay, there he goes.
Where'd I fall?
I'm in the HC Discord, although I'm a super slacker and never ever like
There's a
remember to
fossil.
like say anything ever.
Jonas, how could you, etc., etc.
Check out the house pet forum lights again. Hey, it's them.
There's a house pet Steam group too, but and it's got a lot of people, but I don't think anyone's posting anything.
It's got a
It's
lot
pretty-
of people, but there's no one there.
It's pretty casual. Oh, ooh. Sorry, wait, doesn't matter.
I guess Discord kind of killed Steam groups.
Discord killed the radio star.
That too.
Discord and Steam are pretty much side by side, I find. Oh wait, I don't need that. Okay.
That's another fossil. We need one more.
And now I just want to see if, like,
I'm taking some of
did Weird Al ever do a cover of that song where he's just like, video killed the radio star, and YouTube killed the video star, and TikTok killed the YouTube star?
I know someone did. I don't think it was Weird Al.
It was not. I can guarantee you that he has not done that so far.
But I think someone did that exact thing. Yeah,
Just one more.
Somebody did an internet kill the video star.
Out.
Let's see. Looking more.
Oh yeah, the
Objective complete.
oh yeah.
Make it
There we go.
Select your bonus.
Press the button,
Ah.
Frank.
Press the button. Yes, the unfortunate, also named Rick Griffin artist.
Secured. Hang in there.
Oh yeah, the one who did the psychedelic posters in the 60s.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. I love it for entirely different reasons than I love your stuff, but I love that stuff too.
It's okay, Jonas. The world is big enough for you to love both.
I want to do a house.
I know the
pet.
world is big enough, but is his heart big enough? Really?
The world's not enough. We'll have to die another day.
And then, well,
I
I want to do.
they say.
I want to do a house pet psychedelic poster now, and just add to the confusion.
Ben, if you want to do it, then do it.
What was that? I missed that joke?
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Oh, I was just thinking, I want to do like a psychedelic, like a 60s style psychedelic house pets poster now, and just add to the confusion.
Of the two Rick Griffins, the two Ricks Griffin.
Inspired by Rick Griffin and Rick Griffin.
Not to be confused with the work of Rick Griffin or Rick
I'm still waiting
Griffin.
for Star Trek House Pet Edition.
No, I think one of my favorite fan works I've ever seen recently was Smealy doing the thing of Peanut trying to use tilt controls on like Mario or whatever, and Grape's like, I'm going to Wegmans, what do you want? And Peanut texts her back, I'm using tilt controls! And she's just like, what the? That's so funny. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but it is.
Because P is paying too much attention to the game.
It's really awesome.
Drop pod en route. Hang in there.
Maybe it's just the word Wegmans is funny to me.
Wegmans is a funny word. It also makes me think of that one video where the guy collected all the different mispronunciations of Ouija board. And one of them was Wah-Weg board.
How do you get that from? Oh, no, I don't.
Am I Perdigante? It was the same guy that did that video, right?
Yes, it is. Wah-Weg-board. Is that how you spell the evil Borat game thing?
I mean, is it? It's like those folks who are like, you can spell fish G-H-O-T-I. So clever.
Well, these people aren't clever. These people are just actually that stupid.
Oh, where's the pod? Pod's over there.
Man, I haven't heard the GHOTI
Tyler's just literally
thing
digging
in
his way
a
in.
very long time. Hey, do you remember the webcomic Super Megatopia?
Vaguely.
It was like
Floaters coming after you.
Cool.
It was like a furry comic with a bunch of like superheroes all running loose in one city, superheroes and supervillains. It had like the gag was that this one city had the highest ratio of super-powered individuals to regular people of anywhere in the world.
Dead.
It was just constantly
Yeah.
happening. It was amusing.
There we go.
Extraction commencing. Good work.
The same guy also had a comic that I liked even better that was called Crushed: The Doomed Kitty Adventures. And yes, the Crushed was set in a like in an RPG style world, like JRPG style, where you had adventurers who were going on adventures. Funny thing for adventurers to do. And but if they got killed, they would just respawn back in town at this temple called the Temple of Infinite Lives. And the main character, Crushed, got her nickname because she's the worst adventurer ever, and she just gets killed over and over and over again.
Oh.
But the part where it becomes relevant to Stoker's interests is, I'll give you 3 guesses what happens to their clothes and equipment when they respawn back at the temple.
Like, I don't even think it's fair to call you a one-track pony, because at least that thing could move forward and back.
Oh.
That's cold, Miller. That's ice cold. That's Ice Baby.
That's Ice Baby.
May your beards be thick and your gold satchels heavy.
Word to your mother.
Spark, spark, and the wormhole special.
I teleported outside the station, but there was still gravity.
How'd people take all of them? I didn't get one.
I don't know. And I'm frozen.
It happens to the best of us, GC.
Oh, hey, I can actually finish my beer license.
Like, as in you've unlocked all the beers now?
I think so.
Okay, that was my weirdest wormhole special. Teleported me outside. I froze to death and died and got into my room, and then I'm somehow back at the bar. I went all over the place.
You did?
Multi-rock beer.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh, I needed that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yes, right. There's a Deep Rock Galactic soundtrack on Spotify, but it's all unofficial, so it's just like a bunch of Deep Rock-esque songs thrown together. I'll link it if you guys want to hear it.
Please tell me one of them is Diggy Diggy Hole by Windrose.
Diggy diggy ho ho.
I saw some videos for, there's apparently a new VR rhythm game that's based around drumming, where you're supposed to drum out the beat to this Viking ship, and they like go faster as you drum in time or whatever. And one of the songs on there was Diggy Diggy Hole by Windrose.
In the future, every song will be Diggy Diggy Hole by Windrose.
Yeah, it's like Taco Bell and Demolition Man.
Alright, we're drinking the Bowser beer.
It's a good dance.
I'm sorry, what's a good dance?
Well, he was doing a little dance there in
Oh,
the
I see.
bar with the drinking.
With the drink and blink and the nod.
Rockin'
Yeah.
Right
Okay.
in go. Yeah. That's it.
All right, thanks everyone for coming out.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, good time as always.
Indeed.
Oh, it's
Put-
after midnight. I didn't even
Put
know.
Mercury Abbey on your Steam wish list.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, do it. Do it now.
Support
Yes.
games. Support
Put
games
it
like
on
this,
there. There
please.
might be some kind of rutacular surprise in their future.
Yeah,
You never
Can't wait.
know.
I can't wait to get back to that one. I'm actually like legit looking forward to it. All right.
Well, it's just the main character all along. That's a
Yeah.
twist.
All right.
Okay.
Good game. Good times. And good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.